I'm waving.
Oh, he's waving.
I can see that.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome
You didn't do
back
it.
to the podcast. Thank you guys very much. Very much appreciate you guys tuning in. We got to wait for Cam's TikTok to
I already waved. You
be
didn't
part of the
record it.
recording.
Oh, you're a
Oh,
creep.
yeah, he's grumpy now.
You grumpy old man. Come
All
on.
right, that's enough, surely.
Thank
there
you. Hey. That'll do.
Great for an audio format podcast.
The audio
doing
format
that kind of
podcast.
thing.
Everyone waving at their phones.
Yeah, exactly.
For all of his
but yeah,
3 listeners.
What have you guys been up to recently? Any exciting fish news or anything to report on?
My keyholes have made babies, actual babies.
And hadn't they done that last week?
I think they've spawned and I've taken the eggs, but I've actually got fry this time, like little wiggly fry.
Oh, nice.
Really, really little wiggly fry, but I'm pretty happy with that because it doesn't normally happen.
Still counts.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Good work.
excuse me.
Yeah. The most exciting fishy thing that I have had happen this week was yesterday. I was right up in the far north working, and a friend messaged me and said that he had some fish for me to pick up because he was sick of them. And I picked up his which used to be mine, breeding pair of black capelli compressor seps.
Oh, nice.
So I put them in my trophiest tank in my kitchen, and they're cool as. And I like them.
They survived this time?
Well, they've always survived the trip. They just did not survive the water change system in the fish room, which I can't understand because it's so gradual and so nice. But anyway, they're in the trophiest tank now, and we'll give them a go in there.
And that one you do by hand, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at least I can keep an eye on things. I would have thought that
if you need to.
doing a 50% water change once a week will be worse than the water change system, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. Shouldn't be if it's like the constant change that they're having trouble with, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
So it's just them that died in with the issue?
In the fish room, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Everything
fine.
else.
I've had compressor seps fine and Cal was fine and everything, but
just them.
I had 9 of them, and then he took a pair. Basically, that was all that was left. So, but then he bred a large number of them, which Cam has in his shop, and I believe you have some. You both have some, don't you?
I don't yet, but I was meant to message you this week, Cam. Hey, Cam, and all of our lovely listeners, remind Cam to message Cam this week about the Altos.
Sweet as. Yeah. I'll probably forget as soon as we get off here, but I'll do my best.
Too, which is why it's about day 5 of shit I meant to send Cam a message and keep forgetting.
They are seriously cool fish.
Yeah, well, we can figure it out. But no, that sounds cool. And because you've been traveling a bit this week, so probably not too much breeding action you've got to report on.
I went to Taupo Bay, and last weekend a mate came up and we just worked on the Holden all weekend, so I haven't really been in the fish room much. So
don't tell me you actually got some progress on your car.
We cut lots of bits out of it and started making bits and trying to weld them in.
Nice.
Trying to weld them in is the operative word. We're neither of us the welders. Oh no, we got some bits in. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can't complain then. Yeah. For me, I've not been having too much exciting stuff going on really. The only thing, I had this. What was it? It was like oh God, what is it called again? Oh, I had this Baisha, this Palmas Baisha that I had for a while, and it was really starting to grow on me because like someone put it on hold like as soon as it arrived for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, just while they got their tank sorted. And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. I'll be all right. I'll just keep it there. It's not really doing anything. Can kind of just forget it's there. But then it really started to grow on me, and I was like, God, maybe I should keep it. Like maybe I should, get one for myself or whatever. And then just as it started, really becoming something I was pretty keen on, he picked it up, and yeah,
Oh, no.
that was about it. So that was my sadness. But he's got a nice big tank with to put it in, and I can still see pictures of it at least. So that's good because it was really active and all this kind of thing, which is good.
Are they the ones that stay quite small?
Relatively, not. I don't think as small as the
the
Senegal.
Okay, yeah, that's smaller
But
than
not quite
Baixa.
big. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think we've had a comment that. Sorry, before you finish off, we've had a comment that I believe needs to be highlighted. Dramatically needs to be highlighted.
If
Thrive's
my
welding
welding
skills.
skills.
Anything like the silicon ones and the Holden's gonna leak. I liked that. I really enjoyed that.
I think the reason that it's full of rust is because Holden's leak, especially old ones. So, yeah, I'm already starting with something leaky. So, but I'm pretty good at flicking stuff up, so it should be tight as by the time I'm finished.
So you've got a built-in excuse of it was like that when I got it.
Or they would like that from the factory.
Yeah, it's just a feature. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
weight reduction, less metal, just extra weight reduction so you can go faster.
Exactly.
I am actually considering just paying someone to build me those tanks and smashing the ones that leak and then starting again.
No. The amount of shit that you've given me for paying people to do jobs that I can't do. You can do this job and you're not allowed to pay someone to it, or you will never ever hear the end of it.
Clearly, I can't pay someone to do it because there's still leaky tanks all through the fucking fish room. And I'm sick of it. And I can't use the tanks, and then it takes me half a day to pull them out and chop them apart again, and then they still leak.
Have you thought about just scrapping them and getting new glass?
That's the thing. But then if I'm going to do that, I might as well get someone to put it together that doesn't leak.
No, you can put it together because you've got the skills.
No, I clearly don't have the skills. Although statistically, of the 20-something odd tanks I've made, only 3 have leaked, so it's a pass, right?
Yeah, it's funny when I was dropping all those API test tubes and people were giving me shit about it. So I'm doing 3 tests a day over 10 tanks. It's 30 tests a day. What's that? 150 a week or something like that. And I drop 2 tubes in a week.
Yeah.
And you might do 150 tests in a year if you're lucky and drop 1 tube. It's about the same sort of numbers.
Yeah, and so you're still sitting at 90-something% success rate, so you're all good.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works with tanks that way. Usually, like, it's pass or fail, isn't it, really? Leak or don't leak. If it leaks, it's a fail, really.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'm pretty lucky with the test tubes because I do probably just as many tests, really. But I've got carpet, so when I do drop them, they just bounce, and no one has to know. Yeah.
And I'm just a pro.
Just
I don't break test tubes, so
You don't do tests, is what you said?
Just break glass.
No, I don't break test tubes, so
All right.
You guys just got to up your game. I don't use them, but I don't break them either. So
exactly, life hack. Yeah. Oh well. So we did have a piece of listener mail that come through this week, but just quickly before we get into that, if anybody is interested in sending us some mail, you definitely can, and we'll read it out and answer any questions or tell any stories or anything you might have. So if you want to do that, the email is podcast3idiots@gmail.com. And yeah, just send through whatever you want, like questions, stories, advice, abuse, feedback, whatever you like. We'll keep an eye on it. So yeah, let us know and we'll definitely take a look. But that is what Finn has done. sent through a series of questions that I will read out. So the questions are: is there any interest in expos in New Zealand? And then goes on and says like fish, tanks, filters, media, food, etc.
Sorry, hang on, who's this
Aquascaping.
from?
Fen McTanish, I think. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, but I think that's it.
I got an email from someone. I got a message from someone else saying that they'd sent mail, and so they've obviously made up a name. But anyway.
Oh yeah, probably.
Anyway,
maybe say it faster or slower or spell it out. It might be some sort of a crude word if it's the same person, or if it's not and it's a genuine person. I'm sorry that I assumed that.
Is that the only mail we got?
Yes.
Then this is Daniel Exton sending a message in with a fake name for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, nice.
Anyway.
He's also this person, I'm not going to make any judgments, has said also gone on about aquascaping expos or competitions, fish competitions.
This is why he's used a fake name, because aquascaping is so gay, and he doesn't want to be associated with it.
Company promotion, expos.
Can I just distance myself from the words you've just said?
Even though I did pull over and find some rocks on the side of the road that I thought would be cool for aquascaping a tank, but that's a different story.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading again because I feel like I've been interrupted like 87 times. So the question is there any interest in aquatic expos in New Zealand for like actual products like fish, tanks, filters, media, food, etc., aquascaping, fish competitions, company promotions, information gigs, or backyard breeder meetings? Or if there isn't, do you think there will be in the future? What do you guys reckon?
So Finn McMissile, I'm definitely keen on one, but I don't think there's enough people in New Zealand that would be to make it viable. It's probably but then I guess if we think that, then that's never going to happen. So
prior to COVID, there was one basically happening every year or every 2 years via the Waikato Aquarium Society. They had one lined up, I believe it was COVID year, but COVID stopped it. And from my understanding, from some of the people I'm talking to, there is rumours or things being kind of, the wheels are beginning to move again for another one. So the one that I went to, what must have been 6 years ago now, was pretty cool. It was in I don't want to say a hall, but a similar type thing, which was pretty full.
Conference centres and stuff, hey? They used like conference centres attached to motels and stuff.
It was a big old room. I don't think it was a motel, but and from memory, Dimitri was there with a stall with products and fish. Jeff from Rapashi was there with his stuff. There was an aquaponics guy there. There was at least one or two hobbyists there setting up aquariums for aquascaping. Seakim was there with a full booth. And there was some other stuff there. I know there was some pond stuff going on there. So there was quite a few things there. I was impressed with the amount of people that were there. I thought it was really impressive, not only as stall holders, but also as people walking around the place. So I thought that was quite cool, the amount of people that were there. And fingers crossed it happens again, because it's a cool idea, and it's a cool thing to have plenty of people who love the same thing all in the same place, talking about the same thing at the same time. How good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of those ones that
it'll be pumping, man. It'll be pumping, it'll be cranking, and everyone will be having heaps of fun. And all the cool kids will be there. We'll probably be there. Maybe we should get a 3 idiots stall, and we can do some signings. We can do some signings.
Merch out and
stuff. They can throw cream pies at us.
They can pay money. They can buy merch and go in the drawer to throw a pie at their favourite 3 idiot, or their least favourite 3 idiot.
And we can do a live recording where people can just come up and be on the episode.
That'd be hilarious.
Not trying to pump my own wheels too much, but if you check on the Fish Room's YouTube channel, there is a video of that expo from 5 or 6 years back, if you want to have a wee look at what it was like.
Nice. We'll post
Good
that
idea.
in the. We should post that in the Facebook group.
For
Good idea.
a split second, I forgot what my business was called, and I was umming and ahhing what it was called for a moment. Then
Daniel also
Sign My
says that we can
Fish.
have a Sign My Fish thing at the booth, which is good idea. Sounds good. We'll get onto that.
How would
Yeah.
that work?
well, you
I
take
guess
the fish
using
out of the water.
A
Get a
waterproof
waterproof bead
market.
and go-
It's a waterproof market. Yeah.
Well, no, you could do. Oh, yeah. I was going to say you could just do it on, those tattoo things, but
Yeah, we
it's
don't
probably.
have tattoo fish. Tattoo fish is bad.
Well, also don't draw on your fish, so it's probably, I guess, no less ethical than that.
It's the lesser of two evils.
I don't think we're going to do that, Tamil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If we get an expo
Bad.
going, we can make that decision. At the time, I suppose, whether we're going to be going around signing people's fish and that. But I'd say it seems unlikely, to be honest.
That
I
we're
can
gonna
run
sign people's fish,
I can run an
or
expo
that
on,
won't happen?
I can run an expo on sealing fish tanks.
Yeah, you just do the exact opposite of whatever Ryan says.
Should have fished.
Don't do what I.
Oh, he's coming up with some zingers today. Good times. Oh, I love the people that watch our stuff.
Also,
Actual fish
Rachel
conversion
actually has
systems.
a actually useful question that probably should answer.
Well, it doesn't usually happen, so nowhere. But when it did, it's been in Hamilton where I've been a couple of times.
Yeah, Hamilton's one I've been to.
I wonder if all the show stuff must be somewhere from the FNZAS, eh? Like it must.
Yeah,
There must be. There was a shipping container full of
There's a container full of it.
stuffs, full of goodies.
Tanks and things.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll be around somewhere.
Yeah, sweet as.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, we don't have anything to do with it, but we can, I'm sure, help out if we need to, get some more people excited about this mythical show or whatever.
As New
Sounds so
Zealand's
like
premier podcasting team would definitely have to be involved, wouldn't we?
it sounds like something.
Kevin's fully faces at me. She's agreeing.
It sounds like something that the new Auckland fish keeping club should be involved in setting up.
It sounds like
She
something
also-
they'd be into.
Kim's definitely agreeing with me. She thinks that we should be there, and she also asked if I could take her lunch today because she can't be bothered making her lunch. So she wants to have lunch
So
with a
what's the
famous
answer?
podcaster. What can I say?
Exactly.
You're just dropping it off.
Oh, she just wants me to drop it off and leave. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's no good.
Are you going to do it?
Of course, I do what I'm told.
Exactly. Good
He's
stuff.
a newly married man.
Yeah. And Helen,
Yeah,
yep,
man.
you'd be welcome. Seems you reckon you can mow lawns. You can mow my lawns.
I don't know if I'd classify Hamilton as up north.
Once
north, yeah.
again, I would please
Not
like to
north
remove
enough.
myself from Ryan's comments.
Anyway, up north, yes, I was up north the other day. I was pretty much almost at the top, and it was cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
but Hamilton's, yeah, I mean, just be careful you don't catch anything. You'll be fine.
Funny guy. All right. Sweet as. Well, did you guys have
Amazing.
anything else? Did you
random
guys
question.
have anything? Well, I was going to say, did you have anything else to add on the topic of fish expos and shows and stuff?
I'd like them to come back. I'd like one to happen soon. I don't want to organise it, but I'd like someone else to.
Yeah, can't argue with that. It does seem like a cool idea, and I think it's one of those ones where it seems, from what I've seen, like on the internet, the American ones seem to do relatively well. Get enough attention in that. So, hey, if
And,
anyone's even considering organizing one, you've got my vote.
Yeah, I definitely vote for them. Also, it might be a really good way that we could bring more people into the hobby.
It's a fantastic way of bringing more people in.
Ayo.
Whoa,
Right.
that was a good one. Do you like that?
So Ryan can be the new host and can just run everything basically, showing his true talents.
About time you did something worthwhile.
Yeah, I do fuck all anyway.
Language. Well,
So there were
First
more
off-
parts to his question, wasn't there? There was the expo, and there was something else, wasn't there?
well, no, he was also talking about like parts to it. So there was ideas of like things that could be involved. So there's like aquascaping, like kind of competition type stuff, and like the fish competitions where it's like who's got the coolest fish basically.
If they do a show, I have to enter the aquascaping competition. That'll be so funny.
Yeah, man, chuck a rocket and move on. What else? Oh, like promotions from different companies, so like different brands and stuff. That's involved. Meetings for breeders, like to meet each other and that.
I wonder
all that
if
kind of thing.
I wonder if we have anyone in New Zealand that actually can judge fish anymore.
Probably
I mean, we're judgmental.
anyone
as
can
fuck,
do it.
but
Who says it has to be good?
But whoever actually knows what they're doing, because we used to have people that did.
I'm sure they're around, or just if there's enough notice, can just train somebody up, I guess.
Helen said she'd do an aquascaping comp if someone provided the materials. What that actually made me think. I don't actually know what an aquascaping competition is. What is an aquascaping competition? Does everyone end up with the same stuff to start with, or do you bring your own stuff, or can you use whatever you like that's provided?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I think that's probably provided, so it's all a level playing field, would be my guess.
I've watched like one YouTube video about it, and I think from memory that one was like there's a big pile of stuff in the middle, and then the people could just choose through that whatever they want.
Or like a cooking show where they all run to the
That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of those real terrible cooking shows that I love so much. And then, but then at the end, they stand next to it and go, "Nailed it."
Fished it.
Yeah, fished it. Aquascaped it. Nah, it doesn't
Escaped
work.
it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Cam's not even talking anymore. He's like, "What young?"
Well, I
Cam
don't know.
said.
I was looking it up trying to find something, but
would
to
would
be honest, there was nothing there that was of interest or relevant.
Would it be
I couldn't find
encouraged or allowed to fight over a specific rock that was the best one that was there?
It would depend on who organised the event. If UFC
It's just
organised it,
whoever
it would
pays the
probably be
most.
wholly encouraged.
Okay. It does sound fun. I'd just run in and try and take all the rocks that everyone else wanted.
Even if you if you think it's fun, then that's a high bar.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, cool. Well, shall we move on then, team?
Yeah. What's the random question?
So it is. What is your biggest pet peeve of other people?
Fish related or
Dogs
not
start
fish
barking when you
related?
do that. Well,
My
I mean,
dog's just
I
started
suppose it
barking.
can be anything. There's no real parameters. Can be whatever you want.
So it doesn't have to be
Alright.
fish related?
No, well, it can be whatever you want. Can be if you want, I guess.
Fish related, people calling fries really bugs me.
Well, that's all I'm ever going to call it from now on.
Well, if
Just so you
there's
know.
more than one of them, what the fuck else are they?
Fry. The plural of fry is fry.
Frying.
Fries are edible. Fry is lots of baby fish.
I'd argue both are edible.
Yeah,
Depends on your commitment.
That's true.
All right. How about you, Ryan?
I hate people that can't drive.
Like, don't have a driver's license or not very
And
good
people that pronounce ramshorn snails as ramshorn.
Hello.
That's what Dan has chipped in with his his nomination, which I'll agree with. I like it. And then for me, I'm gonna go with I don't know. I'm gonna go with chewing with your mouth open because it's just gross. And yeah, that's about it, really. So yeah.
And when I
But
say
we'll
people
move
that can't drive, just like people that are just dumb when they drive, just don't, just drive like assholes.
Nice. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for the clarification, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Can someone
Yeah, but-
remind me once we get off this live stream that I've got to go feed my ram Sean snails?
No.
I've got 3
There's no way
tanks
I'm
of
gonna
ram
remember that.
Sean snails that need to be fed.
Sweet as. Well, I'm sure you did. But what was I going to say? No, so we'll move on to the main topic for today's episode, which is whoops, what have I done? Which is about bringing more people into the hobby. So for that, obviously, we're meaning like some person that has no idea about fish or doesn't really care, like a friend or a family member or someone you vaguely know or whatever. And I guess we're just talking about the best ways to get them involved and just new people in general involved in fish keeping. So, what do you guys think is your sort of top tips for getting people that you know into fish?
I guess for me, the biggest thing is trying to set them up for success to start with.
Yeah. So, what does that look like? What do you mean by that?
So like, I mean, I don't want to go into that rabbit hole just because we've been into it many times, but like sometimes
Do it. Who cares?
people end up buying shit fish to start with from the pet shop that
But
are already fucked and dying and
Let's wind that back a
Right.
smidge and why are they going to the fish in the pet shop to start with? Because if they've already bought a fish and then being unsuccessful, they're already brought themselves into the hobby. You're not talking about longevity and keeping them in the hobby.
no, but
That's
I'm
different to-
saying
that's
so,
different to
so they
bringing
want,
them into the hobby.
okay, well, I'm just thinking, how do we bring more people into the hobby? I think one of the biggest entries into the hobby is, I kept fish once. It was hard work and they all died. And I had to keep going in every week and buying all these chemicals and the fish kept dying and I kept replacing them. And then people don't want to do it because that's what they see their friends doing. That's what they hear about. And that's the general consensus. People come in and see Kim's tank in her classroom. Oh, that must be lots of work. Oh, damn. Oh, did they all die? And it's pretty much the common thing that she hears. And she just siphons half a tank out once a week and fills it up again,
I think there is a pretty common myth that fish are hard to keep and they die really easily. But what you're saying is, I think, a step or two after someone has no idea about fish or even considered keeping fish and looking into fish, they've either had them and failed miserably or they've already got them and are failing. I think that's a different point of where it is.
So you're saying, how do you even get someone to be interested in fish in the first time? And I'm saying that most people know about fish, but they think it's hard, so they don't keep them. And that's a barrier to me.
But do most people know about fish, keeping aquariums?
They know something about keeping aquariums, even if it's keeping a goldfish in a bowl. They know that much.
Other than maybe seeing an aquarium on a movie or an ad on TV for AMI Insurance. Hey, look at that! Marketing from AMI Insurance clearly worked. What other points are there? Like, I'm not entirely sure that I
also am a fiend for spotting fish tanks in movies and
me
trying
too.
to identify the fish.
Fish tank!
I see one. Especially when I see all the African cichlids, I tell them, look at that one. Oh, yeah.
And if I've got control at home, I reverse it a little bit and watch it again.
Yeah.
It's like the law, the rules.
Yeah, I do that. Do. I said do. Anyway.
Do.
Have you guys seen that movie It? The It Part 2 movie?
Is that the new one?
Not.
Yeah, the new one. There's a scene where
I let my kid watch it.
oh nice.
I'm a
Well,
bad
there's
parent.
a scene where they're sitting in a like a restaurant kind of thing, and there's like behind like on one of the walls, there's just like this massive tank that is like for the wall. There's like a giant gourami and like tinfoil barbs and stuff in there. It actually looks pretty
Nice.
cool, and it's
Yeah.
like from memory, it's like pretty big. It's like the wall, so obviously it's pretty big. But if you ever needed a reason to watch that film,
Sometimes on like usually on hitman movies or something like that, where someone's supposed to be real badass and has like a real mean place, they'll have like a marine tank in it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
with
they have a fight
sharks
and
and
it
stuff.
smashes. Sometimes they have a fight and it smashes or something, you know.
Yeah.
But
Which continues to build the stereotypes that you've got to be ridiculously good looking. I mean, wealthy to have a fish tank.
well, clearly you have to be good looking. Look at us, you know, for starters.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah.
like I said, it builds that stereotype that fish keeping is expensive, which is not. And so that's what people see. These massive Colombian drug lords that are worth gazillions of dollars have got this awesome fish tank. Must cost lots of money to do it.
Yeah, well, I watched some crappy Colombian drug lord series on Netflix actually recently, and she bought her son a fish. It was like a green terror or something, and he took it home, and she took it home from like a present, like a pity present, because he was pissed off with her, and he's like, it's gonna eat everything in my tank. And I was like, yeah, that's probably true actually.
It's a smart little kid.
Yeah.
But no, I guess that makes sense. So the I guess number one thing that I was gonna say is, I suppose it probably is kind of similar to what Cam was saying, but a bit different. Is like, I guess, just messaging to people that it doesn't have to be that hard, because I think the difficulty is like one of the main sort of objections for people, but that doesn't necessarily just mean like keeping the fish alive. Obviously that's part of it, but like, for example, not having the water go green, or not breaking all the equipment and all this kind of thing. And I think that's because like a lot of times, like in my shop, for example, I just get people coming in like, who's like waiting for their laundry to finish or whatever, and they just come in and just look around, and then just in the course of conversation, always it's like, oh, it must be like, so difficult looking after this one, or like must take you so many hours or whatever. But kind of, I guess, showing people that don't already know that it doesn't actually have to be that hard. And I guess the thing is like keeping it simple, which is the main thing. Like a lot of times it has this kind of image of like being super, super difficult and like going to take hours and hours and hours or whatever to fail, but it doesn't have to be that difficult, I guess.
And the hard part is, with so much noise out there, like there is a lot of retailers that will happily sell you a million different things that you don't need. And then if you Google, you just get overwhelmed with stuff. You just get overwhelmed with the sheer volume of information, whether it's sponsored or not, or whatever,
Yeah,
Daniel
exactly.
Daniel Exton says, start them young, I reckon. Yes, I went to his house when he was 15, and now he's married with kids. I don't know if he's married, actually. He's got kids and stuff. He's all grown up. But yeah, I went to his place at 15 when I was an adult, probably young Cam's age, sorry, down in like Hamilton area, back in nowhere. He had a big fish room and stuff. It was real cool.
Did you
I was always
catch
real
anything
jealous.
interesting?
He had more tanks than me, so I was real jealous. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, starting them young is also a good option. Like, there's a little girl come in and be able to tell me all the names of all the different fish that is there,
Nice.
and knows more than me, kind of thing. So it's always good.
Yeah, I have a guy that comes out, and his daughter's like real cute, and she comes in and she can name like half the fish in my fish room too. She's probably like 4 or 5 or something. So,
Knows all the names of the ones you've forgotten about.
Tony, electric yellow. She's cute, and he's like,
They've already got some exposure to it.
No, I mean more in. Oh yeah, I guess
So,
it probably depends though. It's like obviously they could, it could be from friends or like just walking into a shop and then nagging their parents about it or whatever. But
morning
sure,
able Tasman betters, but you're also late, 36 minutes late to the show. So
I'll put on use an example of like cricket. or you can actually use sport as a
Use
whole.
exciting. Do something more exciting than cricket, because man, that shit's boring.
Well, this is all.
So I'll use an example
Awkward.
of sport.
Okay, yeah.
Sport is free to air on TV, right? People get exposed to it all the time. Gets taken away, gets put behind a paywall, so you've got to pay for Sky. People don't pay for Sky. It's taken away. It's not as exposed. People participating in said sport drops. Gets taken away from the paywall, goes back to free-to-air TV. The exposure increases again. Participation goes up. How do you?
Where's your stats?
I'm not gonna say those words. I was nearly gonna say something really, really bad. How do you get exposure to people who have no idea?
Are you saying, how do you expose yourself to people that have no idea?
That is exactly what I nearly said, and I didn't say it.
No, Ryan's taking one for the team, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's generally
the exposure.
Generally, I would recommend not doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Seven touch points of marketing or advertising. People have to hear or see something 7 times before they believe you or trust you or what have you. Does an overarching body, have to come in and blast a whole bunch of radio ads like Auckland Glass? Like, we all know Auckland Glass. Auckland Glass, smash the piece of glass.
How do you know Auckland Glass?
Because I listen to the internet radio.
Nelson Glass.
And also Auckland Glass.
They haven't got glass in Nelson yet.
They have glass. But like, anyway, it's an exposure. I'm aware of Auckland Glass. If for some reason I go up to Auckland saying breaks, I'm ringing Auckland Glass because you're being exposed to it over and over again. So how do you get exposure to people that don't know what it's about?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a good point. I guess it's probably a little bit different in that, like, no disrespect to anyone in the glass industry, but no one really cares about glass. Like, it's not something you're going to look at in your free time.
Shots fired on glass.
Whoa, wait on. We keep aquariums, so we care about glass. Otherwise, our fishies
we don't care about glass. We care about what goes inside the glass.
Cam's just put a big target on
if the glass is failed, if the glass is if the glass is bad, the fish are bad. You can't see them. Or it's on the floor.
That you've just put a massive target on the glass industry. They're coming for us now.
They're about a gazillion times bigger than the fish industry.
No, this is all part of my long-term play to have we're going to have a rap battle with Auckland Glass. So
a rap battle.
Yeah, look out for that.
We're going to get Auckland Glass's podcasters to go to battle with us.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the thing I was going to say is, like, it's not like people aren't going to really think about Windows in their spare time, for the most part. But I guess we're lucky in that, obviously, kind of by definition, is like it's a hobby. It's like something fun. So being able to show people is like people will be, not everyone, but a lot of people will be predisposed at least to learn or like look at pictures and stuff. So that's where things like, actually having displays, places where people go is a good idea. Like even in shops and stuff. Like I was saying before, like people come into my shop because there's like a laundromat next door and like the blood test place and stuff. So like people are kind of waiting around. So they come look because it's more fun than looking at a wall. And then having actual cool stuff for them to look at rather than just like, bare empty tanks is a good start. Or, on YouTube and stuff, like modern day stuff of like using the internet to reach people where their kind of attention is. And then it doesn't take much for like someone to go down the rabbit hole or whatever and get more interested. Like I'd say for a lot of the people that come into my shop, like I'd definitely go as far as to say like the majority is like people just getting into fish from like YouTube or whatever, just like seeing videos and like watching more and more and more, and then
how are they getting you to start with? What
just
is
like
it
on
that
YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, but why are they seeing a YouTube video or why are they looking for it? That's like I can totally understand.
Well, not searching for it, but like just coming up. But just like coming up is like, one time I watched a video about like you know,
You might have
a
watched a video
bush.
on dogs
Well,
or cats or something, and then it comes up with the
Yeah.
top 10 craziest aquariums in the world. And then someone clicks on that and they go, oh, fuck, this is
Yeah.
cool. And they go in the
It's just
fish
like
rabbit hole.
it just comes from like, you know, just like algorithm stuff of like whatever is like peripherally related, and like it comes up as suggested one time, they click on it or whatever, and then that one's, you know, got to watch the part 2 now, and then this other thing is like this other fish related thing's quite interesting or whatever. Like it'll depend person to person what the exact thing that is related to is, but like just can be whatever, I guess.
A lot of people used to watch that show Tanked too.
Oh yeah, people mention that all the time as well.
They always talk to me about that, and I'm like, oh, most of the tanks are shit actually, and not very well set up. But you know,
Don't worry about it.
but they do some big
I
tanks,
would
cool
suspect
tanks.
I would suspect that program and Finding Nemo have been responsible for many people getting into the industry. Many people getting into the hobby.
So what
Yeah,
we need
probably.
to do is create a movie that's as popular as Finding Nemo. Can't be that hard.
Oh,
Easy. We got this.
Yeah. Why didn't I think of that before?
Oh,
3 Idiots Talk Aquariums feature film. We go longer.
I don't think that movie company had a very big budget or anything. It was only like Disney or something small like that, wasn't it? Some tiny movie company.
Yeah, some little indie operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's kind of what I was meaning of like just that's where a lot of people's attentions is focused. Obviously, you know, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, whatever. Like the platform of the day is probably it'll be different in a couple years' time, but that platform is a good tool to be able to reach someone. You know, who
Yeah, but
How can we bring more people into the hobby?
somehow be interested for that to come up some way or another.
or just have any sort of predisposition. Because, like, I mean,
I think you're
that would be-
going a bit deep. You're going a bit deep, inbred man. I don't know. We can't just. How do the people get onto the information? How do you get the people information in front of people?
Well, that doesn't
You just
mean.
need
So,
to
like,
start.
my next example was like take a billboard on the side of the road, for example, and it has 100,000 people driving past it every day. It's up there for
definitely
3
not
months.
Nelson.
3 months, and 500,000 people have seen this billboard that said "buy a fish tank," for example.
Yeah.
So
but
it's in
Nelson,
in
you could
in
get a
your brain,
billboard and
and
half
then-
a person will see it
and
every
trips
year.
through. So you know that way, and there's life off the internet to start with. Maybe I'm not sure.
But everyone's driving, looking down at their phones anyway, so they wouldn't see
Well,
the
they
billboard.
shouldn't be.
They're not in Nelson. They haven't got that kind of technology yet. Don't worry
We've
about it.
got this thing called that, like you can get to your internet on your phone.
I've got a phone,
Yeah.
you dickheads.
But no,
I
that's
thought
what I
you
mean.
used
Is
an
like
abacus still.
whatever type of medium you're using, like whether it's like actual billboards and signs and stuff, or like YouTube videos or whatever, people will have to have some sort of predisposition anyway to be able to be interested.
And that's my
Because-
point. Like, there's so
But it
much
doesn't
stuff
have-
on YouTube. So
But it
much
doesn't
stuff.
have to be fish. Like it
No,
could
no,
literally
that's
be
what I meant.
anything.
There is so much stuff on YouTube. I can guarantee you that there is a million YouTube, maybe not a million, a lot of YouTube channels on whiteboard markers and how to use them properly. It ain't popping
Yeah,
up
exactly.
on YouTube for me. I walked in the shop and I bought a whiteboard marker because I needed it. So fish isn't going to pop up on someone's
Did you
YouTube
Google
channel.
whiteboard marker first?
Actually,
go
I
up?
didn't. My dad had a bag of whiteboard markers out in the garage and he gave them to me. But it's a similar thing. I would have
Besides
walked to a shop
online,
What's
and
that?
bought whiteboard
Idiot.
markers,
Yeah, of course. Just go scab everything off your dad.
pretty much.
Yeah,
That's what
fair
they're
enough. I
for.
would too.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you just it's I think more valuable to reach people who already have the potential to be interested because they are watching heaps of documentaries about nature, or they already have a cat, or whatever sort of the crossover is.
But are
It-
you not then closing off the potential for having everybody else to be interested and be involved? Like,
Not closing it off,
I
but
think you can
you
almost
can't
be
reach every
assured.
single person in the world.
You
You
can
know,
almost
like,
be assured there'll be people that have no interest in nature, but they like having an aquarium in their house.
Like my partner has no interest at all in the fish. She's even got a fish tank in her office that she looks after, but only for the kids. So
Yeah.
like, even if she got exposed to videos, she would just be like, "That's dumb. I don't even like it." You know.
Yeah.
One of our kids was sitting yesterday looking at the fish, going, "Why do you even like them? They're so dumb. They don't even do anything." And I was like, "Why do you even like
did you
makeup?
turn around and
It's so
say,
dumb."
"Why do I even like you? You're so dumb"?
Yeah.
That's parenting 101 right there.
Hey, next equestrian. You got live. Well, yeah, we're almost finished, but welcome anyway. You made it.
Got the juicy part of the discussion at least.
But anyway,
Right,
okay.
let's do-
So I think we're not really getting anywhere though with it. With the thing, if we're talking about how do you get? I think I think you're both right in a way, but
100%.
people want
I'm
to
always
people
right.
have to go like look at a video and go, "Hey, I've always wanted a fish tank," and then go into that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
They
can
actually
That's
remove
not
the
true.
word-
I don't think.
You can remove the word aquarium or fish tank and insert any obscure hobby in the world that you want to and apply it to this whole conversation both ways around.
Of course, yeah.
And so, like, how do other hobbies and how do other industries grow? How does photography? Because I guess because it gets more exposure. Did you like what I did there? Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Funny guy.
Oh, God.
Good.
That was a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
But my point. Like, more people are
Yeah.
doing it. More people are taking photos, showing it off. That kind of stuff. It gets more exposure to it. But insert any other industry, any other hobby you want, it's the same thing. How do they grow? More people do it. More people show it off.
I don't really get your point. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm still riding my high for my dad joke, so I'm a little bit lost from what I'm
Yeah.
saying as well.
Yeah.
To be fair.
yeah. So, but my thing is that we need, if we get more people being more successful with the hobby, then we can kind of get more people to get into it. If we have more people not thinking it's hard, not thinking it's expensive, and having some success, yeah, they don't go into someone's house. And the number of times I do this as a tradie, I go into people's houses, and all the aquariums I see, probably only 1 out of 10 actually looks nice. The rest of them are just green, disgusting things. You can barely see the fish. The fish are hanging on to life. There's no plants in them. The light died 6 months ago. I said, "Oh, fish tank. Oh, my kid's got that ages ago. I've got to get rid of it. I don't like it. Does nothing." And I think, man,
I know
can do
you
something
hate.
cool with this, you know?
I know you hate aquascaping, but I think aquascaping is bringing the level of fish keeping up in New Zealand significantly. Because instead of having the aquariums that you're explaining, people have seen this fancy looking aquascape and thought, "I'm going to give it a go," and it's improved the aquariums that are being kept slowly but surely. But I think the aquascape movement is improving the aquariums that are being kept and the conditions that fish are being kept in and plants are being kept in. No more in a planted tank, just three bunches of ambulia and 3 bunches of red Ludwigia, for example.
I would agree, but I
thing.
think more generally, like what I was saying is like, or what I was meaning is more like exposure to like nicer stuff in general. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily have to be the aquascaping, but like if you see on YouTube, like, you know, I get it in the shop all the time of like not necessarily an aquascape tank, but like a tank that doesn't look like crap, then people will get more interested in it and like know what the possibilities are. Like it doesn't just have to be this little sad looking thing. It's like even if it's not filled with plants or like fancily aquascape or whatever, it can be like, oh, I can have this
just
actual cool fish that might not be.
A clean tank full of fish, all happy and healthy. Maybe some plants or some nice rocks or something that looks nice. People go up to it and go, "That looks cool. I like that." You know what I mean?
I still
again-
think you're a couple of steps in to how do they get the exposure to start with. But
Yeah,
I
we've
don't
already
disagree with
talked
you.
about
This
that,
is
and we
like
don't-
obviously
we can't
people
agree
that
on
have
that.
already got tanks, you know.
Totally don't disagree with you. That
and
will have more interest and more people getting involved for that reason.
And yeah, I agree. The tank presentation is key. No black water. I mean, why do you want to see a tank looks like someone's shat in it? Like, fuck that. You know, like that. This looks dumb.
you can see Cam biting his tongue.
You're on mute.
That's awkward.
You're on mute.
Fair enough.
I can unmute though. Anyway.
unmute himself. But
But
yeah,
anyway,
that's kind of what I think, at least.
it's about because if someone goes to someone's house, says, "Oh, I've always wanted an aquarium," and there's this horrible green-looking nasty thing in the corner, then they're going to go, "Oh, yeah, nah, do you want that one? I'm sick of it." It's like, oh, okay, that's not really starting the hobby. But then how do you change that? Like, I guess that's where you're saying that aquascaping's good, because I should never have said that. That's a horrible thing to say. Aquascaping could be more positive, and that it does inspire people to do something. They might go, "Oh, my tank looks like crap," and they might Google it and see some cool tanks and actually try and do something with it. Maybe inspire them to do something.
Yeah. I mean, it.
So
I think.
so to far away.
I was gonna say, I think having more, like, not to be judgy, but like not crap aquariums around is always good, because like even, you know, places like you go into like some restaurants and stuff, and it's like you can't see in the glass, and like there's 3 floating fish and like 1 piece of wood that's covered in blackbeard, and that's it. Obviously, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's crap," but if it was like actually cool looking, and it doesn't have to be like super fancy aquascape, because I think that can even sometimes, for the entry level people, like it's kind of intimidating, like put them off. But like super kind of basic and like nothing fancy and like simple but like effective tanks, just more places like in people's houses and like in restaurants and
Even
whatever
in
where people see them.
restaurants and stuff, you see some tanks in restaurants. You've gone around and seen them for servicing things. Some of them even looked after by other servicing people, and they look like crap. They
Oh yeah,
they
exactly.
don't they do these big massive tanks, all the gear, but the glass is just covered in algae. And even though someone's supposed to be servicing it, they're not scraping the algae off or not looking after it properly. And the tanks just look like crap. Like, so they're not a showpiece. They're just a thing that's there in the corner that no one really likes.
Yeah, but it's just like having them be nice would just generate more interest for people, like someone
Do
sees that.
do we need to campaign the Auckland Mall Association to get them to put a really big
campaign.
aquarium into one of the malls?
Ayo.
I like that.
Yeah.
But even I've been into some malls where they have little aquariums that just have absolute crap. So it's like, because I've talked to them about it, because they don't want to pay for it. So like, that's fine, whatever. But
just don't have it.
Probably $50 a month isn't going to cut it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
So it's a hard one, but
At what point does that border on animal abuse or animal neglect? Like, if you are neglecting your dog, for example, would the dog police be coming and knocking on doors of that person in the mall, or
Probably,
not?
Probably, but even fish people don't always know what to do.
But Kurt Cobain tells us that it's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. So, is there an animal welfare issue?
Said you can eat fish too.
Well, there you go. But
Sunday's fish eating day.
It's an interesting one because people don't seem to value fish that much in terms of them being animal or welfare. Like Helen's talking about how there's some shops that might happen to be yellow and be a big chain that regularly sell goldfish to 40-litre tanks and stuff. People still keep goldfish in bowls. You guys both probably rescue fish or some of you don't rescue fish because you can't actually house them, but come across fish that are housed in the wrong things. We talk about it all the time. The big giant plecos that get imported, all the fucking arowanas that get imported and stuff that just can't be housed. Again, it's all part of the problem, but how do you fix it?
I do my part by not selling them. Hey, he's gone.
Oh, he's frozen.
You guys died. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, we can still hear him.
Died.
Yeah.
Oh, there he's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of like almost a, I don't know, secondary issue, because even, well, not like it's a different kind of issue, I guess, because like even like you see a lot of tanks with like should be suitable, but just look very bad because it's covered in algae or whatever.
It's people that just don't change the water.
Yeah, but even like people who probably would be inclined to look at fish are just going to walk past because obviously, so they're not going to look any deeper in it, So yeah, that's kind of what I reckon at least. But I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Do you have any other sort of ideas to throw out there?
I don't even think I know anymore. I just want people to keep cool fish, cool tanks, and everyone to be happy, and us to be allowed every fish we want.
Sweet as. Too easy.
Yeah,
I've-
sort of done.
I've been on this. How do we get more people into the hobby from the day that I started my business? And my theory has always been, and as from a retailing point of view, why am I scrapping over like individual serve pie with all these other people? Why don't we try and increase this pie to like a family serve pie so there's more people, which means the pie gets bigger? So I've been on this thing since day one. How do we get more people into keeping aquariums?
I think
we're
it's
8 years in, and I still haven't worked it out.
kids are key as well. Like people talk about it. I regularly get
100%.
kids that approach me through my partner at school. Again, there's a big tank at school. And they're like, oh, so and so wants to get a bristle nose, or so and so wants to get this or whatever. And I said, yeah, cool. Find out. Like, get me a photo of their tank or whatever, and I'll find out if it's suitable. But if they want a bristle nose, I'll just give them bristle nose. You know, like I can give them that.
Yeah.
I can
And
find them this and get them
kids are-
interested and keep them going into it. You know.
Kids are great, and that's the McDonald's method. Happy kids turn up to McDonald's, get a Happy Meal, get a toy, rush with endorphins, come back. Normally, at a young age, mum and dad are still together. Got these happy memories, mum and dad. Get down the track, they've got this continuous memory of what it was to be at McDonald's, so they go to McDonald's as an adult. McDonald's have got that really smart from day one in their method to keep their customers long term. But the parents of the kids have to be the ones that are willing to buy into this for the kids, because they're the ones with the money still, which makes it a bit hard. So you've got to start the chain somewhere along those lines. And again, I've been trying to work this out for 8 years now, and I still haven't worked it out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very easy thing to work out. You can't just
No.
you can't just crack the algorithm and go, nailed it. You know, I've got 100 million people into fish in New Zealand. You know, like,
Yeah. I
This is
believe
easy.
some sort of guerrilla marketing type process of just putting an aquarium somewhere, or really simple branding of a radio ad that says get an aquarium, just like a 10-second ad, buy an aquarium. Aquariums are cool, and that's the end of it for 6 months. Just subliminal messaging, slowly but surely corrupting people to the dark side to keep an aquarium. Might be the way forward.
yeah. I mean, even if you go into the shop and you had a range of really good value aquariums there, and you had some good fish, you know, and you could teach them, and you had a system there where it would take them 10 minutes a week or something to maintain it, you know, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
aquariums, it is easy. It's not as expensive as you think, and sometimes it takes as long as you think, and you can have a cool aquarium in your home. Even better, if you got money, you can just pay me to look after it. And then there you go. Sorted.
Excuse me.
And Nick's
Wait.
question, yeah, that he brings up a point that getting people into fish isn't hard. I think it is hard, but anyway. But once they're in, it's even harder to keep them in the hobby longer than a year or two. But that's a whole different thing.
So
of fish.
cycler, it's not funny.
It's,
It's incredible. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's
The
even
three of us-
seasonal.
Yep.
And in the next month or two, we're going to see all the people that got too many aquariums for their house when the Powerball's double or triple over winter, and they're going to be selling off all their tanks and fish because they can't afford the Powerball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
it's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
that's quite definite, and I'm sure the three of us here and the people in the chat have all seen how many people go in and out and so quickly. New people are in, new people come out, and so from a customer retention point of view, from a business point of view, it's really hard to put numbers on that, because how long can people going to stay into the hobby? Because so many people get out so easily.
Well, even we know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
sometimes you go through periods of a month or two. I do it too, where I'm just like, I'm not really enjoying this. You know, I need some new challenges. I need some new projects and stuff. I need to do some more stuff with it. How do I get my enthusiasm back? You know, and you just have times where you go up and down, and you know, like.
Yeah, for sure. No, sweet as. Well, Yeah,
I think Cam's reached the tight stage where his attention is waning. You can see him looking away.
Oh
and
no, I
he's
do.
Certainly
wanting
has.
to go to the toilet or something like that because he doesn't go before the thing for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I just have to go to work like very soon, so I
You
was
can
just
tell when
looking
you
at
want
the
to leave.
traffic, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweet
What's
as.
that
Traffic. You live like 2 seconds from the shop, or are you doing service?
Well, no, I have to go see a client, which is kind of
Oh,
far
yeah.
away, and I think I might have cocked up my timings, but I'll figure it out.
Oh,
Sweet
Well,
as.
you don't live in a big city. I can go see people 10-minute drive all the way around. It's
but
okay.
there's no people. You can go see people. You can go see person because there's only like, there's not that many people down there.
Yep.
Anyway,
All right.
it looks like Cam needs to go because he's stuffed up his day and he's going to be running around like a mad thing. That's going to be so good.
Yep.
He's going to be so late.
I think I'm
so
going to be late,
stressed.
so we'll figure that out. But yeah.
Just text them. That's what I do when I'm running late. Text them, blame traffic, and they understand.
Yep. Yeah, I will. And it'll all work out.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for that. And looking forward to seeing everyone or speaking to everyone or everyone listening next time. Some
Sweet
other
as.
exciting topic.
See you guys later.
Bye.